We're going to bring you some breaking news. We're getting out of Washington, D.C. now. US media is reporting there's been a shooting outside the Capitol Jewish Museum. At least 2 people have been killed, according to reports. Israel's ambassador to the United Nations says employees of the Israeli embassy are among those shot and injured. We will bring you more information as soon as we get it to hand. We're joined on the phone now by Heidi Zhou-Castro, who is in Washington, D.C. And Heidi, I know details will be scarce, but what more are you able to tell us right now?
Right. The reports are that the victims are a man and a woman, and one of them is reportedly deceased, another in critical condition. Now, they were shot in front of the Capitol Jewish Museum, which is right in the middle of Washington, D.C., next to an FBI field office, and in fact has only been in operation for about 2 years. These victims were reported to have been perhaps attending an event being hosted at this museum. And now there's also reports that the victims may be connected to a foreign embassy diplomatic staff, and that one, again, this is unconfirmed, and the identities of the victims have not been released by authorities, but reports are that they could be tied to Israel's embassy. Again, unconfirmed information at this point, as this is just breaking news happening as we speak. The FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force is responding now to the shooting. We don't have any word on who the shooter was, whether they're still at large. But again, this is seriously, certainly concerning people, given that anti-Semitism has been on the rise in the U.S., the Anti-Defamation League noting that there's been a 300% rise in incidents over the last 5 years, but namely the shooting of Jewish people hasn't been the headliners. It's been more vandalism, assault, that kind of thing. And so if it is confirmed that these victims were Jewish and that they may have been targeted because of that, then certainly that adds a darker layer to this incident.
Yeah, Heidi, like you say, a darker layer. Once we get more information, and if it is in fact confirmed that the victims are from Israel's embassy in DC, if that is the case, what could potentially be the wider ramifications here? I mean, obviously there have been many claims of anti-Semitism. This is likely to fuel that potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. We, of course, know that Donald Trump has been targeting what he calls anti-Semitism on campuses, on university campuses around the U.S. There's certainly been more focus. The Jewish American community, some members, of course, oppose the war in Gaza, but there's also been many who have said that they do feel targeted, that they feel more threatened since the war started. And it's interesting, if you look at this synagogue, this museum, which has a synagogue in it, in which this shooting took place right outside of, the Capitol Jewish Museum, in fact, had just been noting that they were fearful of their security, and they had just been granted, in fact, some more money from the D.C. local government to beef up their security. Again, we don't know if this shooting happened inside. Reports are actually that these 2 individuals, these victims, were shot outside, perhaps leaving an event that was being hosted at the museum. And again, we're still working to confirm the identities of these victims and how and if they are at all related to the Israeli diplomatic staff, as some reports claim.
Thank you so much, Heidi. We no doubt will speak to you a little later on once we can get those reports confirmed. Heidi Zhou-Castro for us in Washington, D.C.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel, get the latest news from Al Jazeera.